Peggy. Bye, Miss Herring.
At 16, she's the embodiment of the American dream. Proof that miracles really do happen in the land of opportunity. By morning, she's a high school student trying to make the grade. But when the bell rings, the sophomore becomes one of the business world's biggest wheels. Mary Rodas is the world's youngest high-paid executive. Her corporate climb to the top began, we kid you not, when she was barely out of the sandbox. But youth was the least of this kid's executive headaches. The daughter of poor Salvadoran immigrants, her father was a building superintendent. Her mother supplemented their meager income cleaning houses. A fast food burger was the ultimate treat for the little girl who once saved for months to buy a coveted Barbie doll. At an age when most other girls can't wait to discard their toys, Mary is making a fortune playing with them. As impossible as it all sounds, she says her late mother foresaw everything.
When I was small, I never thought anything could happen. I mean, one thing my mother says, you're going to be something. I'm kind of like, please, Ma, whatever you say. That she says, you'll see, one of these days, you'll see the opportunity is going to come along, knock on your door, and you're going to say yes or no to it. And you better be smart and say yes to it.
Her mother never lived to see how spot on she was. She died of breast cancer in 1989. But not before Mary had taken her first steps through the golden door and met her guardian angel.
At 4 years old, my father was like the super of this building at this time, and he was working this inventor's apartment, which is Donald Spector. I saw my father putting kitchen tiles on properly. And what happened was I seen the inventor cutting the kitchen tiles wrong, and I approached him. I said, you're not doing the job right or correctly. And he was amazed by this, like a 4-year-old know how to fix kitchen tiles. But instead of Donald Spector being insulted by a 4-year-old, he was impressed.
Recognizing a babe with a lot on the ball, the inventor made Mary a sounding board for one of his newest creations. In 1990, he dreamed up Balzac, a nifty cloth cover that turns a balloon into a toy for all ages. Mary took one look and said, no way, Jose. It wasn't the product that she found fault with, just its appearance.
Originally, it was a white sack, and of course, my boss says, I love this idea. I'm like, so do I, but it's missing something. He goes, what is it? I go, well, put it bright. So he put it bright. He put solid bright. I'm like, no. Put some colorful, crazy, and wacky patterns.
No airhead she. Mary's input helped boost sales of Balzac to over $30 million in the first year. Its inventor was so pumped up, he crowned her, are you ready for this? Vice President of Marketing for his company. Mary is now a full-fledged toy tycoon who does more than just play with power. Her mature advice on marketing and design strategies earn her over $250,000 a year. She owns 5% of the company and enjoys such perks as a college fund, designer business clothes, and a chauffeured limousine. Pretty good for someone not old enough to drive. Wisely, Mary draws just weekly expenses and sees her substantial paycheck socked in a Guardian account until she comes of age. The girl who might never have left Newark, New Jersey, now takes business trips to Europe and Japan to negotiate multi-million-dollar trade deals. And all because she knows that
kids have their own different way of looking at certain toys. So while I was growing up and everything, I knew how to look at from another different point of views, like how would children like it, juvenile, how would mid-teens like it.
A multi-million-dollar mindset is a terrible thing to waste. Corporate honcho or not, Mary still has to cut it in school. She studies with such juveniles on the job as Macaulay Culkin. The Big Apple School caters to kids who may need to fax their homework from the coast.
Other schools I've been through is like, no, like, you have to hand it in this day and this day. I'm like, but I'm going to come home at middle of the night. I don't care. I'm like, and of course, for me, it was hard to deal with it. The teachers are more supportive in this school.
When each day is done, the kid who juggles report cards as well as annual reports still has to go home and clean her room. She lives at her family's New Jersey apartment with her father, stepmother, and 10-month-old stepsister. Mary says she depends on her dad for the kind of direction that money can't buy.
At one point, it almost got to my head. I'm still a teenager, you know. I still have to deal with those problems, school and everything. And of course, you know, it's good to have somebody always there for you, because I admit maybe sometimes I go off track, but he's always there to make sure I stay in what I'm supposed to be.
Mary shares her extraordinary good fortune. Inspired by the 1991 birth of a baby stepsister with Down syndrome, she joined the March of Dimes as National Youth Spokesperson. It's a labor of love for the first-generation corporate giant who believes that anyone can do anything if they're given a chance. Naysayers of the American dream might heed the words of such a wise head on young shoulders. It is, after all, the very spirit of self-determination.
To have people believing in me, what made me such a huge success. I proved if people believe in me, I could be the person I want to be.
We salute Mary Rodas. From underprivileged to an overachiever, she's a major player who's already ahead in the ultimate game.